After I spent the night with Amara, my sales increased. Seriously. The girl sweet and she sabi. That girl get luck for body. Now so.
They said sleeping with her brought money. They swore by it. In the beer parlors of Lagos mainland, under dim yellow bulbs and sweating bottles of malt, men lowered their voices and shared testimonies like secret church confessions. After I spent that night with Amarachi, I signed the biggest contract of my life. I doubled my sales in 1 week. My shop exploded with customers. They spoke of her like she was an investment. What they did not speak about, at least not at first, was what came after. The contracts that vanished without explanation. The accounts that emptied overnight. The businesses that burned from mysterious electrical faults. The wives who packed their bags and left. The sudden illnesses. The strange accidents. The quiet madness. It always began the same way. Watch till the very end, because what happens next will shock you. And if you love powerful stories like this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, you don't want to miss the next one. Now, let's continue. A man would taste sudden fortune. Then something unseen would begin to collect its debt. In the beginning, people called it coincidence. By the 5th man, they called it bad luck. By the 10th, they called it curse. But by the time the debt started, the city had stopped calling her by name. They called her omen. They called her destruction. They called her evil. Yet none of them asked what Amarachi called herself. This is the story of Amarachi, the girl every man desired, and every man eventually feared. Amarachi did not look like trouble. She was a grown young woman with calm eyes and the kind of quiet beauty that did not beg for attention but commanded it anyway. She sold fabrics in Balagan market during the day, her voice soft but firm as she measured lace and ankara for brides-to-be. She laughed easily with customers, bargained respectfully, and sent money home to her mother in the village every month. Men noticed her before she noticed them. Dunlody, the electronics dealer, began visiting her store daily, claiming he wanted to buy fabric for his sisters. He left with nothing but her number. Within weeks of getting close to her, his shop expanded. New stock arrived. Customers lined up. He told his friends, half joking, "That girl is my good luck." 2 months later, thieves emptied his warehouse in one night. Security footage corrupted. Insurance refused payment. His wife accused him of bringing evil into their home. By Christmas, Dunlody was bankrupt. He never mentioned Amarachi again. But others noticed the pattern. A banker who bragged about conquering her secured a promotion, only to be fired after an unexplained audit scandal. A married contractor who boasted in a WhatsApp group about owning the city's finest girl won a government bid, then lost everything when the project collapsed under investigation. At first, Amarachi believed it was coincidence too. Until the dreams began. She would see men counting money with greedy smiles, only for their hands to rot into ash. She would wake with a pounding heart and the sound of whispering in her ears. "You were warned." Years before she came to the city, in her village, a wealthy elder had desired her. She refused him publicly. He had smiled in a way that made her skin crawl. "If I cannot have you," he told her quietly, "no man will prosper through you." That night, goats died mysteriously. The old women began muttering. In African life, curses are not fairy tales. They are debts written in air, invisible but binding. When Amarachi moved to Lagos, she thought distance meant freedom. She was wrong. The curse did not live in the village. It lived in desire. It fed on lust. And the city was full of it. Soon, the whispers grew louder than the traffic. Women in the compound began warning their husbands. "Stay away from that girl." Some men obeyed. Most did not. There is something in the heart of a man that believes he is stronger than warning. That he will be the exception. That he can take pleasure and escape consequence. Chief Obina was the boldest. A wealthy transporter with 3 buses and 2 houses, he laughed when his driver warned him. "You think I fear small girl?" He pursued Amarachi relentlessly, showering her with gifts she did not ask for. She tried to distance herself. She refused money. She avoided his calls. But he insisted. Within weeks of claiming her as his secret, his business soared. New contracts. Foreign partnerships. His pride doubled. Then the first bus crashed on the Benin Expressway. No survivors. The second bus engine failed mysteriously days later. Investigations began. Corruption allegations surfaced. His accounts froze. Chief Obina aged 20 years in 6 months. He began seeing shadows at night. He called Amarachi once, his voice shaking. "What are you?" She had no answer. Because she did not know. The guilt began eating her alive. She prayed. She fasted. She visited pastors and imams and traditional healers quietly. Some told her she carried a spiritual mark. Others said she was only unlucky. One old herbalist in Mushin looked at her for a long time and said, "Child, the curse does not touch you. It touches those who touch you with hunger." Amarachi cried for the first time in years. She did not want to be a weapon. She wanted to be loved without consequence. But the city had grown darker. Men who never even touched her began losing fortunes simply from obsession. One trader who stalked her daily lost his entire shipment at sea. Another who fantasized openly about her suffered sudden mental breakdown. It was no longer contact. It was intention. The curse had matured. In the village, news traveled back that the old elder who cursed her had died. Some said his spirit wandered. Others said his final words were, "She will never be free." Amarachi returned home for his burial. The village felt heavier than before. An old woman pulled her aside. "You cannot run from this. The curse feeds on men's weakness. As long as lust chases you, it will grow." "What do I do?" Amarachi whispered. The old woman's eyes were wet. Sacrifice or isolation. Those were the only options. Back in Lagos, Amarachi withdrew from everyone. She dressed plainly. She moved houses. She avoided conversation. But beauty cannot hide completely, and desire does not need invitation. A young tech entrepreneur named Femi fell in love with her gently. He respected her. He did not boast. For a moment, Amarachi thought maybe love would break it. For 3 months, Femi's startup flourished steadily. Nothing dramatic. Just growth. She dared to hope. Then one evening, his servers crashed permanently. Investors pulled out. Lawsuits followed. He did not accuse her. He only looked tired. That was worse. Amarachi made her choice the night the city went silent during a power outage. She stood on her balcony and whispered into the darkness. "If you must feed, feed on me." The wind answered. After that night, men stopped prospering before collapse. They simply avoided her entirely. Something had shifted. Her own life began shrinking instead. Her stall burned in a market fire. Her savings vanished in a bank failure. Her health weakened slowly. The curse had accepted her offer. It no longer harvested through men. It harvested through her. Years passed. Men married other women. Businesses rose and fell without her shadow. But Amarachi never married. Never fully recovered. In the village, they say some girls are born beautiful. Some are born blessed. And some are born as battlegrounds for forces older than desire. Amarachi grew thin but peaceful. The city forgot her name. But sometimes, in quiet compounds, when men boast carelessly about conquest, old women shake their heads and say, "Be careful. Not every woman you desire is yours to taste. Some carry debts you cannot afford." And somewhere in Lagos, When the wind passes through empty market stalls at night, it sounds almost like a woman whispering. I did not choose this.
Thanks for watching. Please watch other videos on my YouTube and subscribe. Click the link Story by Trills.